What's up guys, welcome back or to the channel. Yep, today we've got another electric vehicle. Hiboy reached out and they said we've got an electric bike that can handle off-roading. So just like the scooter, obviously this isn't made for the same kind of off-roading as these guys, but we're definitely going to put it through its paces. And this thing on paper sounds pretty legit. So we still have to put her together, but quickly, this does have a 750 watt motor. It has a 100 kilometer max range. It still has a full gear set, so you still have all the gears back there that you can go through, because it's still a regular pedal bike, but you can see how beefy these tires are. So like they are, yeah, it's hard to kind of hold the box open, but they are pretty big. Like that's a pretty beefy sized tire. And it says you can also get up to 45 kilometers an hour top speed. So it has a rear hub motor, and you do get fully adjustable suspension. You can see down there. So let's get this thing out of the box. Let's see what it can do, and then let's get it out there. Now quickly, the first box that I see is the accessories box. So we have our bolt for the front tire. So that's gonna be nice and easy to install because it's a quick release. We have our headlight, which looks pretty promising so far. That might be a pretty decent light. We've got our charger, and we've got our set of pedals. So there's 2 pedals there. So not too much to assemble really. And it looks like the best course of action is either to lift it out, which we could do, or I think I might just cut the box open and take it out that way. So I had some help from Justine and we were able to lift it out, but it does take 2 people to lift it out. If you're gonna do it by 1 person, I would suggest getting some help or cutting the box. But basically, everything's packaged here together. We've got our wheel for the front and our handlebars. So I'm gonna unpackage everything here and bolt it all up, and we'll see exactly what else we need to do, because it seems like it's gonna be pedals, wheel, handlebar, and we should be pretty much ready to go. And just like that, we've got it put together. Now, there wasn't much assembly. Like I said, it was the front wheel, which is a quick release. It was the pedals, the handlebars, we had to put on the front light, and I think that was pretty much it. Oh, I should probably spin this around to the proper position. But so far, it was a pretty easy install. Now, we are gonna have to go charge it up before we do use it outside, but I do have to say I'm pretty impressed so far. Oh, and we have to pump the tires, which Hiboy was nice enough to send us this unit right here, which is an inflator and a vacuum, which is pretty cool. So it's a cordless cleaner and inflatable inflator all in one. So you can do inflatables, like if you're going to the beach. You can do car tires, bikes, anything that basically takes air. I will be testing it on my car after to see if it can do the car, but for now, at least we can pump up the bike tires. And these are pretty beefy tires. Now, I think that this, matched with the adjustable front suspension here, will definitely be giving us a good ride. I can't wait to actually try this out off-road, and we will be doing a range test, we'll be doing an on-road test, off-road test, and just going through the features. But like I said, first we're gonna have to charge it up, and it has been raining today, as you can see by all the beautiful water here pooling up. So I'm gonna wait for it to dry up, we're gonna charge it up, and then in the morning, we're gonna get out there and test this thing out. But so far, I'm pretty impressed. We have a 7-speed Shimano gear set, so that's pretty good. And over here on the display, it's a little bit hard to see. Let me actually turn my lights off and see if we can get a better shot of it. It's a little bit hard to see on camera, but you have your speed, your odometer, your battery, and your modes, which are 1 through 5. And here you also have your front light, which it's kind of hard to see down here, but once we go outside, we will try it out, and it's looking pretty promising. And you do also have a horn right down here, which is actually kind of, yeah, definitely is loud, and people will hear you coming. So far, so good. The build quality on this thing looks awesome. I really like the look of it too, with the matte black, and I just think that they did a really good job. It's definitely an eye-catching bike. It's definitely a nice bike, but to be honest with you, at first, you wouldn't even know it's an e-bike. It almost looks just like a regular, everyday mountain bike. And I like the fact that you can actually lock this out all the way and lock your front forks so that when you're pedaling, you're not putting all your power into that suspension. You're putting your power into the actual wheel. So that's nice. So let's go, let's charge it up, and let's get this thing outside because I can't wait to actually test it out. Oh, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see how this pump works. So here's what you get. There's a carrying bag, the unit itself, with this side being the vacuum cleaner, which you can also remove and clean out the filter which is in there. This side being the pump, which has a quick release hose. So you put it on, twist it, it clicks, and there's your unit right there to pump up your tires. This will fit a regular bicycle or car tire, and it also comes with all of the other units, or all of the other fittings, whether you want to do an inflatable for the beach or a ball like a basketball or anything that takes a needle, and just a regular inflator tip. You also have, for the vacuum side, deflator tips in case you want to deflate a mattress or any kind of inflatable that you have at the beach or camping or whatever. And then you also have this for vacuuming up any kind of messes you may have. As you can see, I actually tried using this one already, that's why it's dirty, and it worked pretty well. And you also have another tip for adding on these guys. So it works really well because I have used it before, but I haven't used it to pump any tires. So I've used the vacuum side when I went camping the other day, or the other week I should say. But now let's go and let's see what this thing can do on the actual bike over here. So these tires are fat tires, and they say to only pump them to 20 psi max. So that's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna overdo it, and we're gonna go through and pick bicycle. We're gonna go to 20 psi. It says we're at 5 right now in the tire, so we'll set it at 20. And oh, that's the vacuum. That's my mistake. There we go. So I actually got it up to 15, and the tire feels pretty good. So they say maximum of 20. 15 feels okay. I'm gonna put it to 15 on the front and the rear and see how that feels when I'm sitting on it, because we don't want to be riding at the maximum. It's gonna give us a harder ride, and we're also gonna be at the limit of the tire. So let's do them both at 15, and we'll see how that feels when I sit on it. All right, we got the bike charged. Everything is ready to go. As you can see, we've got the blue light, meaning we're fully charged. And one thing I didn't show you guys before is you can actually remove the battery. Excuse me, so that when you're actually locking the bike up and taking it somewhere, you can leave the bike locked up and you can take the battery inside and charge it, or just have it with you for that extra security. So I think that's an awesome feature, and it slides back in just like that, locks in, and we are good to go. So now I also put the tires back to 15 psi because it felt a little bit better when I was riding it at 15. And I say that because I've already been riding a bit. So we did take the bike out just to test it out. You can see there's 51 kilometers on it. It's a little hard to see the screen, but you'll have to take my word for it. There is 51 kilometers on the clock right now. So we're gonna start off in mode number 1, and mode 1 through 5, what I've noticed gives you the amount of pedal assist. So 1 is the weakest, 5 is the most pedal assist that you'll get. However, when you turn the throttle, I feel that you're always getting the same amount of power through the throttle no matter what setting you're in here, 1 through 5. So I've also noticed that you have a very, very long range on the battery. So to do the battery test, we're gonna do it through the whole video. We're gonna start off by basically taking it for a ride, and we're gonna go show you basically all the features, how it rides, all the different modes, and from there, we'll also go do an off-road test, and we'll just see exactly how many miles we rack up and what the battery looks like at the end of all of our riding. And it will take me maybe probably today and tomorrow to finish all of the riding, so who knows? We might get through the whole battery, but we'll see exactly how many kilometers we get out of it, because it is a very, very big and long lasting battery from what I found. So far so good. The seat is also super, super cushy and very comfortable. So I've enjoyed sitting on that. It hasn't hurt at all. The tires definitely add to the suspension. They are awesome. I haven't had any issues with those, and we are definitely going to be taking this off-road to show you guys how those grip. But right now, let's just go for a ride in the park and let's see how the bike works. It's hard to see on camera, but we are at 3.7 on our trip. I'll try to get a better angle for you guys somehow. Oh, I think I just turned off because I was sitting here a little bit too long setting up my camera. So we were at 3.7 kilometers on our trip. So we were at 51 on the odometer. So right now we're at 54. So just remember that we were at 51 and we'll know exactly how much we got out of this battery. But for now, let's get on. Let's go for a cruise. I have the suspension set all the way to soft. So as soft as it goes, you can have it lock all the way up so it's fully stiff. I leave it open for now. That's just how I'm gonna leave it. And I haven't really touched the rebound, but you can adjust this as well. So let's go. This will be, oh, and you can also go to level or mode 0, which is no pedal assist. So you can still have your functions like your horn, your light, but no pedal assist if you want to pedal by yourself. Or we'll start off in mode number 1 and I'll show you guys exactly how that is. So let's go and let's start riding. So in mode number 1, you do have a bit of assist, but you can see it's not much more than what you're giving. So it will help you a little bit, but you're not really going to be feeling like it's pulling away on you. Now, mode number 2 definitely feels a little bit better. You can definitely hear that motor kicking in, and you can definitely feel it as well. So we're already moving at 26, 27 kilometers an hour. And we're almost at the top end of the gears. And by that I mean, if I go any faster, then I'm gonna be pedaling like I'm going nuts, because you can see already how fast my knees are moving. So let's go to level 3. And you can see there it pulls you some more. And there's some people coming, so we'll slow down a little bit. So we're still in level 3. And right around this corner, we'll go into level 4. So now we're in 4. And you can really hear that motor kicking in. Seems like lots of people out today. But you can see I'm barely giving any of my own input, and it's really taking off on me on level 3, or 4 I should say. So on level 4, it really wants to take off on you. And level 5, well, even more so. But I have not touched the throttle over here at all. You can, if you want, instead of pedaling, just hold the throttle. You can see. And it'll keep accelerating and accelerating. And you don't have to use the pedals at all if you're tired, or say you just want to go for a cruise and be lazy. So now we're on the street. We shouldn't encounter as many people. We'll go to level 5 and we'll go to the top of this hill. And I won't be using the throttle. So we got it up to 38, 39 kilometers per hour. So not too bad at all. And the brakes, they work great as well when you need them. So that's always nice and reassuring. Now we'll go down the hill and we'll see what kind of top speed we can get. And I will be using the throttle and the pedals. And it picks up pretty quick. We're already at 40. And there's 45. And she tops out at 45, which is actually really nice because that's advertised as the top speed, and you can actually get there quite easily, and it accelerates to that speed quite quick. And we're holding it the whole time without me pedaling. So it definitely moves. It definitely moves. And it's a good ride. It's a nice cushy ride. It's not rough in any way. The big wheels definitely make up for any kind of inconsistencies or any roughness of the road. But other than that, the suspension in the front is great too. Like, I have no complaints, no issues at all with the suspension. Everything in the front end is nice and tight, and everything feels solid. I don't have any complaints about anything on here at all. And the horn, well, it sounds like a freaking ambulance coming at you, but that's nice because people will hear you coming and they'll see you coming. Now, I will try to test out the lights for you. I don't know if it's gonna be today or tomorrow, but we will test out the lights out on the actual road and see how they work when you're actually riding. Now, I'll tell you, I have used them and they work great. They actually work really well. The light has a nice long throw, so you get a good distance in front of you lit up, and it just rides really well. So at the end of the day, you have a good light, you have a solid bike, it's good to go. Now we'll go over here and do like a tiny bit of off-roading. We will go try some more off-roading and unpaved areas like dirt and gravel, but right now we're gonna go through the back end of these soccer fields over here, and there's like a path that kind of goes behind them, and it has a little bit of a hill and a little bit of dirt, a little bit of mud. So we'll have our first off-road test with the P6. And we'll go up the steeper portion over here. We'll use the throttle. Oh yeah, no problem. Eats it up. Honestly, this feels great out here. It really does. It soaks up everything. And we're going like 40. So that's pretty nice. It actually goes really well in this terrain. Like, you can see it's jumping around and it's trying, but it feels good. And we've got somebody up there, so I gotta slow down so I don't run into them. But it definitely moves. I would say it can definitely handle its own off-road. Those tires grip really well, and the motor really gets you through all the terrain. Like, it does not skip a beat. This thing is awesome. And it handles really well too. Like, it's actually really fun to ride. I've never had a fat tire bike, but this thing's a lot of fun. So now that was a lot of fun. And after all of that, we are sitting at full bars, you can see there, and 58 kilometers. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but take my word for it. And she's been riding great. No issues whatsoever. Brakes are great, it accelerates great, it's comfortable. What else is there to say? Now, I will keep riding it, and I'm gonna try to put some more mileage on it tonight, But tomorrow we're going to take it on some actual off-road trails, and those are a little bit further from the house, so we're going to keep putting mileage on it. And I promise you, I will not be charging this overnight. We're going to keep going and see how much we can get out of this battery. But so far, this thing is awesome. Okay, we're back. It is the next day. I did not charge the bike overnight. There is 3 bars left, and you can see she is on red. That means we did not charge it. And trust me, we've got a lot of mileage left. We're at 70. We started at 51. It's hard to get the angles, but just trust me, we're at 70. There we go. So we're at 70. We've got 3 bars left, and let's go for a ride. We're gonna test it out on some hard packed dirt as well as some gravel. And I realized yesterday that when we did the acceleration test, we were going downhill. So we've got a slight uphill that kind of evens out into a gradual, just regular road. So let's go and try out the acceleration right now with half a battery. And I will not be using the pedals. I'll just be using the throttle over here. So let's see exactly what she does. Let's go. 20, 25, 30, and we're gonna hit the gravel right here. 35. So she's still got really good acceleration. The bike accelerates on gravel as well as on regular just asphalt really well. As you can see here, I don't want to be accelerating too fast because I don't know what's coming up around the corner, so we got to take it a little bit easier. But it definitely holds its own out here. You don't feel that you're even riding on the gravel right now. The tires more than make up for it, and then the suspension also adds to that. So it's honestly a great ride. Like, no complaints whatsoever. So now let's go hit some dirt, and I'll try to position the camera a little bit better, but let's go see what we can find in here. And now you guys can see that light in full effect. But you can see it does great out here. I haven't been pedaling whatsoever. I've just been letting the bike do its thing, and it does great. Now you guys can actually see how that light works, and it actually does light up the path quite well. It's not even that dark out here. It's just that with all the tree coverage, the camera doesn't pick up the light as well. So I don't need the light personally for myself, but you can see it on camera a lot better now. And it does do its job. So let's go ride this trail a little bit further, but I know that it's a little dark, so you guys can't see too much. So we won't go too far in, but you can see this thing handles its own no matter where you take it. And the one thing that I don't have near me is sand. I would love to test it out in some sand, but unfortunately I don't live near sand. So we'll keep going and testing it with what we've got. And it just eats up all of these roots and all of this rough terrain really well. You can see it loves it. No problem whatsoever. Yeah, the big tires definitely help out here. This is pretty nice, actually. can't even lie, like it's comfortable and you've got great control too. Because of the big tires, you have awesome grip and you don't feel like you're actually gonna slip off anything. I haven't had one problem out here so far. And just like that, we made it out. As you can see, it's not that dark out here, but in there, it is dark because the sun's already set. So I will try to do some more testing and more off-roading for you guys. But so far, this thing holds its own. It honestly does great. We're still at 3 bars and I have no complaints. Now we'll go hit that gravel a little bit more, but I think this thing can do its own, whether you're doing some kind of trails in the mountains, trails in the forest, gravel roads, whatever you guys are planning to do, this thing will be great at it. And there you have 45. Well, there you guys have it. It definitely holds its own out here. It is tons of fun on the trails. I enjoyed going on the hard pack a little bit more than the gravel just because it's a little bit more technical and the grip these tires give you is awesome. You actually have really good control out there and it doesn't beat you up too much because the tires as well as the suspension work really well together. So far, no complaints. I'm really impressed with this thing. I wasn't expecting this much out of it and I'm telling you, it's an awesome bike. Personally, I think that this one is the most fun that I've had on any electric vehicle so far. Now, I will do another little bit of riding still today, and I'll let you guys know how much mileage we get out of this battery. But I'm telling you, it's hard to kill these batteries because we're still at 3 bars. We started at 51. We are at 72 right now. So we have done already 21 kilometers. Now, 21 kilometers is not bad, but you can see we still have 3 bars. So we've got plenty left in the tank. Now, this says on the spec sheet that you can do up to 100 kilometers with pedal assist. So as you can see, we haven't been using the pedal assist much and we've been putting it through its paces and it's still holding up battery really well. So I'm gonna keep riding and I'll catch up with you guys once we get back. But so far, this thing has really impressed me. It's now day 3 and we still haven't charged it. As you can see, we've got the red light flashing and we have 2 bars on the actual meter. So we're at 80 kilometers. We started at 51, so that's 29 kilometers we've done already. And let's keep going and let's see just how much we can get out of this battery. I will stop for you guys about halfway to let you know when we're down to 1 bar and we have to turn around, but I'm gonna try to keep going until there's nothing left. Well guys, to be honest, I didn't even notice the battery going down, but apparently we finished it, or almost. Oh, looks like someone's calling me. I will have to deal with that in a minute, but it looks like we've pretty much finished the battery. It's now flashing at me. We're at 88 kilometers, still in mode 5. And yeah, let's keep going and let's make it back to where we started. And I'll kind of do a review of my final thoughts on the bike here. But so far, so good. Like, it's been riding really well. And you can see there still is a little bit of battery power. Like, not much, but there's something in there. We made it back to where we started. We still have a little bit of battery left, but we are sitting at our flashing bar. So we have 90 kilometers, meaning we did 39 out of this battery. But here where we live, there is a lot of hills, as they say, uphill both ways and in the snow. But honestly, there's been a lot of hills. We've been going off-road. I haven't been really adding any actual pedaling myself, and we've been in level 5 the whole time. So I'm not making excuses. I'm just giving you guys the breakdown of what I had while I was testing it. And to be honest, it did great. It did great on-road, it did great off-road. I would say the range is awesome, especially if you're actually adding in power yourself and pedaling. Like, just by myself without pedaling, I was getting almost 40 kilometers. And if we were to start pedaling, I'm sure we could get a lot closer to that 100 kilometers. And you also have to remember, we were going through rough terrain, we were going up hills, and yeah. At the end of the day, I think the bike performed really, really well. The tires gripped awesome. 15 PSI was perfect for myself. I am 6'1" with 167 pounds. So take that if that helps you. But at the end of the day, everybody's gonna have to pretty much kind of set it up for themselves. Just remember, they are 20 PSI max. So you don't wanna go too high. You don't wanna go crazy. But at the end of the day, it's a quality bike. Like, the pedals are made of actual metal. The frame, everything looks great on it. The battery is removable. It's a large capacity battery. You have a Shimano gear set in the rear. Everything on here is quality, from your shocks in the front to the light to the horn. Everything works great. So personally, I would definitely recommend this thing to anybody. It's an awesome bike, and so far I've enjoyed it. I can't wait to keep riding it, but I think that's going to be the end of my review here today. So thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please jump down there, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, give this video a share, and I'll be back with some actual off-roading and taking the Jeeps out very, very soon. So if you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to check out some off-roading with some Jeeps, then definitely stick around. But if you guys are subscribers, well then, I've got more coming your way, and hopefully soon. But thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ride safe out there. Peace.